Red Bull may give you wings, but now they're trying to take away the front one of Mercedes as Horner fires back about his rival's front wing flexibility. And Aston Martin are already struggling. Will success for Sebastian Vettel and co be delayed as long as the newest Bond film? I'm Ollie Wilson, this is of course GPFans, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button before we get into all of the news in F1 this Friday. So, Christian Horner is turning defence into attack by highlighting the flexibility of Mercedes' front wing in response to the furore surrounding Red Bull's rear wing. The FIA recently issued a technical directive outlining changes to the process involved in load testing rear wings after footage from the Spanish Grand Prix showed the Red Bull component flexing at high speed. Despite his team being at the centre of the latest technical row, Horner has turned the situation around and taken aim at Mercedes. Obviously, the cars are built to be optimised to the regulations, as it is a competition at the end of the day, and there are tests that are in place for the FIA to measure that, which is what they do, and they vary those tests from time to time, said Horner. The whole car is under aerodynamic influence. A lot of noise is being made about the rear wing of the car, but if you look at some of the footage from Imola of the front of our competitor's car, it will show you clearly flexible aerodynamics. As we know, the front wing is a much more sensitive part of the car than the rear of the car. If you can pick on one part of the car, then inevitably that is just going to move around. The RB16B has complied with the FIA tests so far, but it is unknown how the rear wing would perform under the new stress tests from the French Grand Prix onwards. It is of course very difficult for the FIA to police, which is why they continually evolve these checks and processes which each team then has to comply with. To think that everybody's aerodynamic surface was completely rigid would be a fallacy on every single car of the grid. It is just not the case. You can physically see that. Looking a fair bit further down the pack, Aston Martin team principal Otmar Szafnauer has conceded third in the Constructors' Championship is perhaps a step too far after the team's lethargic start to the season. The luxury British automotive manufacturer took over from where Racing Point had left off last season, with a car that was good enough to finish fourth in the standings, missing out on third only after a points deduction for running illegal rear brake ducts. For 2021, the cars remained largely unchanged, although some alterations were made to reduce downforce on the grounds of safety, a decision Aston Martin blames for its struggles. Having started the year targeting third in the Constructors' standings, Szafnauer has reassessed the team's goals, with Lance Stroll on 5 points and new recruit Sebastian Vettel pointless after 4 races. Unfortunately, I think P3 is probably a step too far, said Szafnauer. We will fight hard in the midfield to see how high we can go, but we would like to be in the top half by the end of the year. Nobody wants to go into a season anticipating to be top of the midfield or fighting for third and then ending up in the bottom of the midfield. For sure, that was something we didn't anticipate and something we didn't want, so we've got to fight hard to get our way out of it. We are all realistic that this is the end of these regulations as we know them, and we have got to soon, while we are focusing all our efforts on next year and make sure we come out of the blocks where we want to be next year. Now, of course, this is a team that has had significant backing from Lawrence Stroll and his consortium that saved this team when they were fighting administration after the collapse of Force India, with the Canadian businessman welcoming Aston Martin to the venture. Asked if there was any additional pressure being exerted by Stroll given the shortcomings of the AMR 21, Szafnauer reiterated, "None of us are happy with the situation we are in. We have got to be realistic with what we can do with a frozen car, a frozen rake, and regulations that are significantly and completely changing for 2022. We just have to be realistic, understand the situation we are in, and do our best with the car and the tools we have. For sure, there is always pressure when you are not achieving what you thought you were going to achieve. But like we said, we have to be realistic, do what we can without compromising the 2022 program." So are you prepared for a ding-dong moan fest between Red Bull and Mercedes as each one complains about the flexibility of their opponents' respective wings? And are Aston Martin going to be like Haas this year and perhaps throw in the towel already and prepare for the Formula One season and new regulations coming in 2022? Let us know in the comments section below, and of course stay with us for this coming weekend's coverage of the Monaco Grand Prix and of course the rest of the F1 season here at GP Fans.